Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Steelers named top landing spot for $109 million CB. Despite landing a highly regarded class, the Pittsburgh Steelers didn't add a cornerback before the late rounds of the 2024 draft. For that reason, the Steelers could still consider signing a veteran for their secondary. Pro Football Focus Gordon McGuinness argued that veteran cornerback Stephon Gilmore should be a potential target. McGuinness called the Steelers the top landing spot for Gilmore on May 1. Gilmore will turn 34 at the start of the 2024 season but has performed well in 3 one-year stints with different teams since 2022, wrote McGuinness. He earned a 69.3 PFF coverage grade in 2023, allowing 734 yards and 5 touchdowns from 622 snaps in coverage while totaling 11 combined interceptions and pass breakups. The Steelers played cover 1 on 25.8% of passing downs last season, with the Cowboys one of just 5 teams to do so at a higher rate, and still have a need at cornerback. Gilmore isn't the all-pro caliber player he once was. But as McGuinness detailed, he is still a quality starter. With the Dallas Cowboys last season, Gilmore recorded 68 combined tackles with 13 pass defenses and 2 interceptions. He has recorded 140 pass defenses and 31 interceptions in 165 games during his career. Over his 12 NFL seasons, Gilmore has made more than $109 million according to Spotrac. The Steelers added 2 intriguing cornerbacks prospects late draft weekend. First, they selected Texas' Ryan Watts in the 6th round. Then, Pittsburgh signed undrafted cornerback Beanie Bishop Jr. from West Virginia. NFL.com's Chad Reuter ranked Bishop the top undrafted free agent cornerback of the 2024 class. But the Steelers could probably still use another cornerback addition, preferably a veteran. In free agency, Pittsburgh lost 5 cornerbacks that played a total of 2,320 defensive snaps during the 2023 season. One of those cornerbacks, Patrick Peterson, led the entire Steelers defense in snaps played. That's obviously a ton of playing time to replace. The departure of those veterans leaves the Steelers' secondary void of valuable NFL experience. Joey Porter Jr. will enter the 2024 season as the top Pittsburgh cornerback. He started 11 contests as a rookie last season. The Steelers acquired veteran cornerback Dante Jackson in a trade from the Carolina Panthers. But Gilmore could provide another outside cornerback option and replace Peterson from a leadership perspective. Gilmore began his career as a first-round pick for the Buffalo Bills in 2012. After 5 seasons with the Bills, he joined the New England Patriots. Steelers rebuilt O-line completes changed defensive identity. Pat Meyer grinned as he took a seat at the dais Saturday afternoon. As reporters approached the table, greeting the Steelers' offensive line coach as they placed their recorders in front of him, Meyer chuckled and told one, "Christmas came early." Indeed it did, as General Manager Omar Khan added 3 new offensive linemen to Meyer's line with 3 of the team's first 5 picks of the 2024 NFL Draft, marking the first time the Steelers have taken 3 offensive linemen in the first 4 rounds in the common draft era, since 1967. Pittsburgh's latest draft class is the clearest example yet of the team's commitment to building from the trenches out, continuing the effort with an infusion of linemen the team hopes will set the offensive tone for years to come. I've said it from the beginning. The offensive line, defensive line, those are big priorities, the big men, Khan said after drafting offensive tackle Troy Fautanu with the number 20 overall pick. That's where it starts, right? We want to be a physical football team, and it's got to start up there. It's also no coincidence that the Steelers' investment in the offensive line coincided with the addition of Andy Weidl, who joined the team as the vice president of player personnel from the Eagles, where he helped construct an offensive line that won 2 NFC East championships and Super Bowl 52. In addition to drafting Fautanu, the Steelers selected West Virginia center Zach Frazier with the number 51 pick and guard Mason McCormick at number 119. Not only do all three possess versatility, but they all approach their positions with the physicality and tenacity that's a hallmark of Pittsburgh football. Their attitude and their play style, Meyer said about what made the linemen attractive draft picks. I don't want to say they're not pretty players, all that. It's just all three of them have those qualities that you really like, especially at the Steelers. You talk about guys that are tough, that love ball, that are just fanatics about it. All three of those guys have those kinds of traits that we are really looking for here over the last couple of years. Because the Steelers released starting center Mason Cole before free agency, Frazier has the clearest path to a starting job, but Fautanu will likely push for a starting tackle job, either supplanting Dan Moore Jr. at left tackle or slotting in to right if the team moves 2023 first-round pick Broderick Jones to the left side. In their college careers, Frazier started 45 games, while Fautanu started 31. That experience was attractive to the Steelers in the evaluation process. We are looking for guys with talent, obviously, Tomlin said. Oftentimes that talent is coupled with experience. It's good to have a group that are mature as players and as people, and I think that's reflective of the collective. All that means, we should expect those guys to have a high floor and maybe have a good presentation of what they're capable of early, and for that, we're excited. McCormick, a four-year starter at South Dakota State, projects as a backup guard for now with the team returning starting guards James Daniels and Isaac Seumalo. But both Daniels and Moore are scheduled to be free agents after the 2024 season. It was a strong offensive line group, Tomlin said. We've talked plenty of times about how we feel about the importance of the offensive line, and we got through day one, and even in the fourth round when we had a chance to get Mason McCormick, he's a guy that we had rated really high up there, and we have a couple players at the position who are in the last year of their contracts, felt it was important to address it if he was there. And we did. Even if all three rookies don't start right away, the trio figures to pair with Jones, who replaced Chukwuma Okorafor in the starting lineup midway through the 2023 season, and Seumalo to form a foundational offensive line core. The Steelers also have 2023 seventh-round pick Spencer Anderson, who spent the season on the 53-man roster and appeared in 8 regular season games on special teams. 3 best landing spots for former Jaguars WR Zay Jones. The Jacksonville Jaguars surprisingly released veteran wide receiver Zay Jones on Tuesday. The 29-year-old should have several suitors on the open market after registering 116 catches for 1,144 yards and 7 touchdowns in the past 2 seasons. Here are the 3 best landing spots for Jones. The Cardinals used the number 4 overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft on WR Marvin Harrison Jr., but their wide receiver room is quite underwhelming past him. Michael Wilson, a third-round pick in 2023, and Greg Dortch, an undrafted free agent in 2019, are currently the number 2 and 3 options. Adding Jones to the mix would instantly upgrade QB Kyler Murray's arsenal in a move that feels almost necessary in a competitive NFC West. The Steelers have been in the market for a wide receiver since trading Deontay Johnson to the Carolina Panthers earlier this offseason. Pittsburgh did add to its receiving core with the likes of Michigan's Roman Wilson in the 3rd round of this year's draft, but he will likely play primarily out of the slot in his rookie year. The team may still trade for a more solidified number 2 option to pair with George Pickens on the outside. If not, however, Jones might be the next best option. Who wouldn't want to team up with QB Patrick Mahomes and contend for a Super Bowl in 2024? The Chiefs already added Marquise Brown in free agency and former Texas wide receiver Xavier Worthy in the draft's first round, but the status of Rashee Rice is still up in the air following his involvement in a multi-car collision this offseason. Kansas City needed to rebuild its wide receiver room anyway after leading the league in dropped passes, 44, last season. Jones would only further bolster the unit while having the chance to capitalize on a big payday as a free agent next offseason. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Zay Jones? Leave your opinion in the comments.